Hey, here we go. We're going to do La Pavonis and pairing them with different things that you should have with your La Pavoni. Today we're going to do books, which obviously have to be science fiction or history, one of the two. And the most appropriate book for today is Philip K. Dick, Radio Free Albemuth. Way ahead of his time, insane. So I really should read this one today. I'm going to reread it. Don't watch the movie as kind of a B movie. It didn't really work out. I know everybody was fans that made it and wanted it to, but read the book if you can find it. Philip K. Dick, Radio Free Albemuth. Way ahead of its time. And then, it's almost shocking when you read this book with what's going on today, but let's steam some milk. And the good old Carina. It's really just a Carina base bag. Without a gauge, really this is one of the best working machines I've ever had or have. And, a long time ago I got rid of all that other stuff everyone invented and those pins, and none of them, in reality did much. You couldn't really discern it. But we got it. This good old girl's getting up here. Oh, God. Leave a lot difference. I kind of made that hook over just for fun. Some of these adapters, this is a really good one, but they're almost more expensive than the gauge, but there we go. Steam up some milk. Yeah, this book is really appropriate for today on Ferris Fremont. You'll recognize exactly what kind of disgusting little orange. And orange, yeah. Way ahead of its time. I wonder if that was premonition, but Philip K. Dick is about it. One of the first authors I really read a lot. In fact, they used to take his books away from me when I was a teenager and things like that because they thought they were too subversive. But he had a point where he switched kind of from science fiction, which is really good, and then he kind of had a metaphysical stage, which book is part of. It's not really metaphysical books, but his, and it really did happen, was he had one night he woke up, he went out onto his patio, his porch. He lived somewhere in California, I forget the city, I won't tell you anyway. And he's sitting out there with his cat, and all of a sudden, this is his tale, and he said there was just a bright light hit him and the cat. It's like it just flashed. It was so bright and white, it was almost pink. It was past white, and that kind of blasted and blinded him for a second where he just saw, some swirling colors. And he, at that night, had a dream, and him and his cat sat out there, and he just said it was like, suddenly all these things became apparent about the world and the universe, and it was almost like him and his cat understood that, and it slowly drifted away. And so he had a dream and all that, and he woke up in the morning, and he told his wife, he goes, we got to take their son to the doctor, to the hospital. He goes, he has an undiagnosed, life-threatening condition. And, she's going, okay, he's a science fiction guy. Maybe a little, he's probably an intense personality in person. And they cruise down to they go down the hospital. The doctor goes, okay, and, we haven't seen anything. So they check him out, and it turns out he did. He had a little tumor, I believe it was somewhere by his testicles or something like that, undiagnosed. So they were able to operate and save his life, because if they hadn't found it, he could have dropped at any moment. So that was always a heavy story, and kind of he, at that point, went on to search about things, about why did he have this little premonition and things like that. So anyway, the book Radio Free Albemuth kind of came out about that. Also with his, general theme of totalitarianism taking over and things like that, which is very apparent today. And there's always a crazy, rich fucker that's screwing everything up out of greed. But that's the book for today that you're going to pair with your La Pavoni. and you'll make yourself a coffee, and then you're going to read this book. It's really good. And the next, we're going to do some shows, which is, the next one is going to be Philip K. Dick, The Hot Man in the High Castle, which will blow your mind. Watch that series on Amazon. I hate to encourage anyone to go to that, but that series is really, really good. But for this pairing, La Pavoni, Radio Free Albemuth, the book for the day. It's an older book. You might have to find it, but yeah, that's happening. All right. There we go. We got him. La Pavoni again. The Karina. Lucha half water. Steamed milk. A little bit of steamed milk. I do the full shot, steamed milk, and sugar. Okay. There we go. Yeah, don't take any shit from those guys. Those orange fuckers. See you later.